I'm going to be doing the unthinkable today because I'm out of Huel and I don't have any more being delivered till Thursday. But I got a shift at work tomorrow, which means I got to do some meal prep. We're going to keep it nice and simple. Just going to do some chicken with this lemon and herb rub. Lemon and herb. I don't know. I don't know how we say it here. Lemon and herb extra mild rub. But I'm going to be doing this with some of the usual broccoli and tomatoes, which I think the citrus of the lemon will complement the broccoli and the tomatoes rather well. But I'll also be putting a small pot of rice on with it as well. So the small pot of rice is going to go here. But first I'll just be cutting the chicken. I'll be kind of putting the rice on after I put everything else in the oven and on to cook. Because the rice, ironically, is going to be the thing that takes the least amount of time today. Naturally, for the chicken, you have a special designated chopping board for that. Cut this open ever so slightly so it can lay a little flatter. I'll actually be wrapping this in tin foil and covering it in the rub that I bought. Raw chicken, of course, is a bit of a massive hygiene risk to just about everything in your kitchen. So you've got to be careful how you use it. But in just a quick moment, I will weigh this chicken. I'm making sure not to ever directly touch the chicken with both hands, so that I've always got a hand free to handle other things around the kitchen. Of course, no doubt I'm going to see at least one frame where I do in fact touch the chicken with both hands and despise myself for it. Well, let's see how this goes. So, put that down. Lift this up. And this. Got into the packet. There's about 300 grams of chicken in here. I've cut a little bit off, so it is now, 312. 311. Weights and Measures Act might have something to say about that one. I guess it's just a minimum weight. So I'll be putting some foil in this, putting on half this packet of rub, because it says I'm supposed to use it for 4 chicken breasts and I'm only making 2. Which does mean, rather than try and weigh this being added to the chicken, what I'll actually do is weigh the pack itself and then subtract. Well, I'll keep pouring this out until it is 12 grams lighter. Get this nice and spread out. I intend to bake this for about 25 minutes. Then I'll be putting the rice on and then everything else into the steamer once the rice is on. The rice should take about 20 minutes. But I do tend to put a little bit of salt in my rice when I cook it. This does slightly lower the boiling point of the water, so it can make the rice cook a little faster, which means I'll have to be mindful of that. But with this thing closed up, once my oven is preheated, that'll be ready to go in. And with that closed up, I'm going to take a moment to go wash my hands because it's covered in raw chicken fat. So while my kettle's boiling, I'm just going to weigh up some rice. Now, I've not used one of these to measure rice before. I usually use like a mug. But this, I've done 75 grams a portion here. So all we do is put this 150 grams of rice in the pot like this. Normally, these would have some kind of cooking instructions with them saying, oh, pour it into some boiling water and give it a stir. This is like the worst thing you can do with rice. So what I've done is, I've got the little bowl here I use to measure it. What I'm going to do is just fill this up twice. You always just do double the volume of water to rice. I have put a little bit of Himalayan salt in the bottom of it just to improve the flavor. And then we simply pour that in here, pour that out there, pour that in here, and pour that back in there. And that's it. That's a pot of rice. Bring that back to the boil, and that's it. Rice, wicked easy. You need to make sure the pot actually has a lid. Ideally one that a little bit of steam can escape through, but you also want some steam to stay in the pot to steam the rice. And speak of the devil, there she is. I'll put the lid on now just to increase the speed at which this water reboils. Maybe. I actually don't know if that'll work. I'm going to put a bit more water in my steamer. I've only actually got enough tomatoes for 1 portion, but I have got broccoli for 2. Alright, so after a little while you will see the foam and stuff in like your boiling rice water start pushing up against your pan, pot lid, I don't know. To make this stop, I already kind of didn't catch this on camera, but to make it stop, just a quick lift up has made it go down, and now this is simmering very nicely. And that's really all there is to this. Half this rice. Calories will be on screen in a moment. And the other half is going to be going in a plastic container, at least once I remember where I've put one. Oh, that chicken smells freaking gorgeous. So this is a pretty unusually large portion of chicken, but I'm going to be up to about 2,100 calories of food consumed for the day. Apparently I'm on, I don't know, something like 5,000 burns so far. It was another morning shift at work, what can I say? Let's just get this thing out of here. And there we go. So I will actually like grab a knife and cut this up soon, don't worry. Put some of the sauce over the rice and keep a little bit of this to go in the container with the rest. And then just get this broccoli and these tomatoes out of the steamer. And remember, we're going for about half of each. Well, sorry, I'm going for half the broccoli. I'm going for all the tomatoes. At work tomorrow, I'll be. I don't imagine these tomatoes would microwave particularly well. Oh shit, burning myself. Unlike the broccoli, which I think should be okay. But I think these tomatoes are already basically disintegrating before my eyes. So I think trying to microwave these tomorrow is going to be a bad idea. There we go. Oh god, the tomatoes are basically mush. But it's okay because I'll be filling in the vitamins and the calories by just taking an apple to work instead. As well as just some like cooked chicken portions to like snack on. And there we go. So as I say, once I actually find my other plastic container, I'll be throwing the rest of what I made in said plastic container. So let's see how this actually tastes. As I say, the tomatoes basically just fell apart in the steamer, but this is fine. I like them squishy. The broccoli is still just kind of a little bit difficult to prick with the fork, which is kind of how I like it. I like it to have a little bit of texture to it. That's freaking beautiful. Well, so this has been yet another way I've done broccoli, tomatoes, and chicken in a way that keeps it fresh and interesting, despite basically just being chicken and vegetables. The rice is going to keep me full for the rest of the day. I had an early start today, but I'm trying not to go to bed too soon. It's like, what? It's 7 o'clock right now. I've been up since 5 a.m., but I know if I go to bed anytime soon, I'm just going to wake up like 2 hours later, like, oh, that was a nice nap. And my Fitbit says I've not been sleeping particularly good lately, so I'm trying to work on that. But I'm going to dig into this, and I'll see you tomorrow.